Hi everybody, it's Sunday. The rain's coming in Monday. Stevie is off to the first race of the year on his motorcycle bike. And we're gonna throw some mud back. See if we can get her thrown back together. Girls, get out of the truck. Toilet paper, some blue. Oh God, this is bad. Been a while, I'm a little bit rusty. Let me get out of here without dinging up Stevie's din-din. Tell you right now, when we got this din-din, what I was looking for, well, from being exposed to Dirt Perfect and being around him and the way he works on problems and stuff, and then I was watching Let's Dig 18 and stuff like that, I knew I wanted to figure out how to get an excavator in the woods, because they are, yeah, an excavator is not really made for the woods. They're not technically a logging machine, which I think that I don't know. You look at the actual loggers out there, like Cotton Top runs, the forestry logger excavators, and like stump jumper runs. Them are nice, but for our first one and for what we're into. And we get into these select cuts where you're tight, I didn't want to get a big rig like Cotton Top or Stump Jumper's got at first. We may in the future someday down the road have a machine like that. I think they're good machines. I have nothing bad to say about them other than tail swing. But I'm going to tell you, with the reach that them rigs have got, when you get them out fully extended now, they're planted. I mean, that tail swing pays off big time when you're operating compared to what this thing is when it gets a little butt light, you know. But get it like beer, Bud Light. But anyways, so, but no, with this din-din and this rotoback head, I knew we would, well, no, I didn't know. I thought I dreamed, I wished, I hoped that it would have the flexibility to be a problem-solving machine for a lot of situations. And for everything I thought that would work, it's been that much and more. We went with the Cat. Of course, Big Deal loves his Valvos, and I don't have nothing to say bad about the Valvos at all. I've never been around Valvos much as far as maintenance and stuff goes, but operating wise, they're great. They operate great, and so are Deeres. The Deeres, I checked into the Deeres when we got these, and I fell in love with the 225 Deere also. But I ended up going with the Cat. The salesman was a good salesman. Matt Butel, you're watching this, by the way. The salesman was a good salesman. He set us up, got us a pretty good deal on this rig, and made it hard for me not to go with the Cat. Because I mean, I did not care what color it was. As long as it performed, as long as it was easy to work on, and as long as it was robust, I didn't really care what color it had. And as long as it had you know, a dealer network. I wanted something with a dealer network to support us, and Deere and Cat both has them, and so does Valvo. And Komatsu, I should have gave, in hindsight, Columbus Equipment in Ohio, I didn't give them the time of day, and I think that was a mistake, mostly because of the Rotabeck exposure that they have. They're very good with Rotabecks. Columbus Equipment out of Ohio is, and they are very experienced. They've set a lot of them up, and Komatsu's a good rig, you know, and they have good, you know. So I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have went with the Komatsu from Columbus Equipment. But I'm telling you, it's all a wash. It's all this equipment's good equipment. The Cat, the thing I love about the Cat's the robust pins, the robust hoses. Cats are just built to thump on, and I like that. That's that and Matt Butel's selling ability is what got me to buy a Cat. So, and a dealer network, but everybody had that. I had plenty of that. There's plenty of good dealers around here. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to sell any dealer short or brag any dealer up more than they, you know, more than they deserve. But I'm telling you, we have good dealer networks here. So what made this decision was more from the Cat engineer standpoint, because I really like this Cat then. I really like this Cat. I like the way it operates. It ain't as fast, and it ain't as fast as what a Valvo would have been, but it makes up for it in smoothness. It's for the Cat's very smooth. You can run the Cat hard without having to be so nervous about tearing stuff up. And with this type of job, it's going to be hard on a din-din. This ain't what a din-din's made for. This type of work is not up a din-din's cup of tea for logging. I mean, logging's hard on stuff. And logging equipment, you look at Tiger Cat or John Deere logging equipment, and you can see it in the design of them, in the way they're protected, in the way the cooling packages work on them. You can tell that logging's hard on machinery. But an excavator is a Swiss Army knife, and that's what I needed. I needed something that a good operator with good common sense could take this rig, and there's always something the din-din can be doing. Now, I'll stop talking about the din-din itself for a second and start talking about this head that we got on it. This is the Rotabeck. I don't know what size Robotech this baby is, but it's we got the 3/4 tongs on it, or the 2/3 tongs on it instead of the 3/4. If you look at the tongs, one side's got 2, one side's got 3. I wanted it to act more like a logging machine, and I wanted to be able to load log trucks with it. Now, The head for this is almost too small for this rig, but I didn't want a head that was so big because this zero tail swing machine that it'd make my tip droopy. You know, it'd make it dobble a lot when you reach out. So the only downfall to that is we have had to add some gussets. You can look at the two-prong side. I'll show you this. The audio don't exactly match the video that you're all seeing here, but I'll show you the two side, the plate on it. You know what I mean? The two-tong side we've had to beef up. In the three-tong side we have some. A lot of our work is in the machine size is a little hard on this Robotech head, but it's worth every bit of it. I have no regrets with this baby. This thing has really changed our logging company for the better. So let me get to the task at hand. We're filling this mud in, and I know I'll get a lot of grief from this in the comments. My gosh, it's muddy, y'all's making a mess, you know, and yes, we are making a mess. This is a mess. I'm not like a lot of YouTubers. I'm not going to show you the good stuff. I'm going to just show you the stuff. Some of it's good, some of it's not. But it's what we're dealing with and what's happening. Mother Nature's been kicking our butt lately, which is quite obvious. The ground's deep. So what we're doing is we end up having to mud this section out because we got weather coming. It's not going to get any better. It's going to get nothing but worse. So we mudded this section out, and through the pines here, where the pines drain the water down, it's just a mess. The water table stays up in it. There was standing water. You'd drive through and your ruts would fill up with water. That's how bad it was. But the main thing with this wet stuff is if you get it in, get it done, and get the BMPs done before the next weather pattern, even a big messy job like this, you can keep it under control. And that we did it worked out beautifully. Now we've kept this thing under control within reason. The skidders got a little deep, but they stayed in one path. We kept them in one path. And when we get done, we'll have the path put back and you won't even be able to tell it. But what I'm doing then is I'm taking, after we got done logging, of course the skidders mash all the mud out on the bottom side. So I'm taking this mud and I'm putting it up on the top side. Come on. Putting it up on the top side and stirring it up a bit and giving it a little bit of air so it can dry just a little bit. And putting a little bit of residue in it, and when Big Daddy comes through in the dozer, it'll float him right across it. He can knock the high spots down and finish this baby out, and you never know it. You never know. Other than this YouTube video, you never know how deep this skid road was, or what all we went through to get this wood pulled out of this area. But the alternative is boring around and either waiting, which our contract was running out. We had to get this done. But you either wait, get an extension, or just get in here and get it done and put it all back. And it's turning out just fine. This ground's going to be just fine. It's going to turn out just fine. And in the end, it's all going to be beautiful. All right, here's the finished product. It took about an hour to finish. I know it took a while to finish a short section of skid road, but that was a pretty extenuating circumstance. And it's got a little wood in it. We throw a little wood in it usually when we're done, and that helps to add to the erosion control and stuff like that. But here's how they can turn out, you know. Started out pretty rough, but ended up looking pretty good. Well, that turned out okay. So Let's head to the next one.